Hi, I'm Darrell,
And I'm Elia.
and we are Black Nerdy Scholars. Episode 26.
Oh my
Episode
gosh. We
26.
did it. We
In
did
the
it.
club. Hi on perp.
With my shades on.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah, yeah.
said be
For the
be
for the
hot.
children, we are referencing Miley Cyrus's 26, which is a reference to Michael Jordan. We're old.
Yes,
We're
yes,
millennials.
yes. But basically I saw an article about how Mike Will Made It was talking about how he had to convince Miley to do the song because she wasn't really interested in rapping or anything.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh fucking
She had to be
course.
convinced for her for her what do I call it in a way that won't garner some sort of reaction. Wigger moment. I guess is like the best way to
Wiggafication.
yeah.
Or well, not even that because she didn't go full wigga. It was like a brief moment.
I mean, kinda. I mean, okay, I guess that's fine. I guess that's fair. But I think in my mind, I associated also the like hypersexual Miley as the same moment, even though like black woman does not equal hypersexual. It does to a lot of people.
There's a thing to
And
be
so when
said
she's
about
like
how
twerking and naked on the wrecking ball and stuff like that.
when a lot of artists want to transition out of their I'm not a kid anymore, a lot of them will turn to hip hop and for the and to proceed with like a more hypersexual persona. So you kind of see, I want to say there's a joke about this in BoJack Horseman, which I won't bring up too much, but basically
I never watched BoJack, so like tee me up. Hit me with
so there's this artist, I forgot her name. She's like a porpoise or something. But yeah, there's basically like a commentary.
Porpoise as in like dolphin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making
She's
sure.
like a sexy dolphin.
Yes. Aren't they all?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, she just, when she's transitioning out of pop and she wants to be adult, she does like hip hoppy music. That's basically it. But yeah, it's a commentary on how
it. Can I ask then?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it because we're gonna talk just a preview for what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna be talking about the drama. So Zendaya is on the mind. The thing Zendaya did to break from her Disney persona was Euphoria, which is hypersexual. Right? There are maybe not hyper. I don't know if that's the word, but more sexual than like her Disney shows, which is not the same as like blackifying yourself.
Yeah. For more context,
Miley Cyrus did.
The song that the porpoise lady makes is called like "Kill Dat Fetus," so it's like it's basically an abortion rap song. Hella African American vernacular. But yeah, it's just but yeah, I think it's interesting that maybe the equivalent for someone like Zendaya is like, hey, let me do an HBO show like that Disney to HBO pipeline.
So then is like we talked about sex a little bit last episode.
Yeah.
What is it literally? Like I know the answer vibes wise, but I want to articulate it. What is it that the projects that are explicitly sexual, what is it that those projects shed? Obviously there is a childness because like childhood and like sexual being are kind of typically held as opposite in contrast. And yet the thing that Zendaya picked was Euphoria, which is about children doing sex. So then exactly like help me articulate what is happening to the persona and why is it good or bad, or like maybe not good or bad, productive or successful. You know what I mean?
Yes. I think part of it has to do perhaps with this idea of prestige, like I think you think of Disney shows, you're not thinking of like quote unquote high art in how we considered media. And when Euphoria dropped, it was very much, I think it was like we haven't really seen anything. I mean, we've
Sure.
seen Skins, but not like the A24
Yeah,
aesthetic.
like Skins wasn't considered high art in the way
Yeah,
that even if you don't consider Euphoria to be high art, it did define A24's brand.
yeah, like that
And
indie prestige
A24
vibe.
tries to be, at best as it can, like high art, artsy,
Yeah,
like, pretentious, for lack of a better word, that kind of artistry.
yeah.
And
So I
so,
think,
okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
being in
So,
an
okay,
HBO show, yeah,
but prestige does not equal sexual.
not at all. No, I think the
In fact, going back to Miley, her music was not prestigious. It was pop.
nope, yeah,
So then what is the through line between more pulpy sex and more prestigious sex, if not just they're
sex.
fucking? Like what does the
Yeah,
sex do? Other than or let me ask you this way. Does sexuality in projects do anything else than merely transforming the image of a person into an adult? Is that literally it? Is there anything deeper to say about sex and sexuality other than that was a child actor and now they're an actor?
I think so, because I feel like what we're considering is very specific to this context, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I think of all the, actors I don't meet as adults, and I see
Mm-hmm.
them in like movies and stuff, and they're fucking, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're doing a show, they're doing a
Mm-hmm.
movie. So I think maybe there's like this sexuality perhaps connected with growing up with like an actor, or growing up with an artist or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to this, I guess, adult, they get to adulthood, and it's like, oh, how do I show the public and the people who associate me? It's probably a little Peter Panism going on, I think, with child actors. So maybe it's really like, what's something I could do that I could not have done as a child actor to,
Mm-hmm.
to harshly break out of this sort of image. I don't think like,
Does violence work the same way?
I think
I
it
don't think
could. I
so,
think also,
right?
or I don't know, because I
I don't think
guess,
it works in the same way outside of both of those concepts relation to black stereotypes.
yeah,
Like in a
because
black
I even think of,
stereotype, there is a conflation between violence and sex, but that is not, like we said,
yeah,
not all of these actors or artists are blackifying themselves. Some of
yeah.
them are engaging in more sexual projects.
I feel like, and I'm also thinking about, because you brought up violence, is, for example, Michael B. Jordan in The Wire. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where most people, okay, I don't know if most people are our age, but like our parents and shit would have initially seen him, is
Mm-hmm.
playing like a young gangbanger, basically. So I'm like, someone like
Gangbanger.
Michael B. Jordan, I know also gender is a thing and whatnot,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't have to break out of this like child image in the same way that like someone like Miley Cyrus would, who was,
Mm-hmm.
on Disney Channel and on Hannah Montana and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
is this a lot to do with like Disney? Like I think we're seeing like a thorough line between like Disney and like,
Or just like prestige child media.
okay,
Right? Because like Justin Bieber is not associated with Disney. He's more
yeah,
associated with Nick, I guess, in a way. But
mhm,
he's not associated to any of those, but he still had a
yeah,
similar phase. However, the demographics that were sold Justin Bieber were also the demographics that sold um Disney Channel, which now that I'm
yeah.
saying it, going back to gender, is primarily like teenage girls, teenage
Oh
parenthesis
yeah,
white, close parentheses girls.
yeah. They're the only ones who, this is
Yeah.
this is a
Because like,
problem
oh
really for them.
yeah, right? Because like Miley Cyrus isn't, she didn't go from making teen girl music to making boy music. She went to making, like, for lack of clarity and better terms, black music.
Yeah.
But if you look at it now, like, I don't think the demographics changed.
No, because the same people who were listening to Miley growing up, they were listening to her in her bangers era. Like,
or like Ariana.
Yeah.
Arianka.
Blackiana. I miss Blackiana.
Oh man, she was so different.
Positions is a banger.
Position is a banger.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And so, great. Okay. So then going back to my initial, like, attempt at interrogating this kind of transition, does it mean that the use of sex is meant to shed that skin specifically in teenage (parentheses white close parentheses) girls? I'm assuming, because, like, now that I'm saying that, like, teen boys, especially when it comes to girl celebrities, female celebrities, women celebrities, they don't have any trouble seeing young girls as a sexual object. There's no trouble from not adult and adult men. They used to have countdowns for when, like, the Olsen twins would hit 18. Right? And so, like, there doesn't need to be a switch. Like, I guess some people leaning into the sex is kind of meant to entice a broader audience, which then includes boys. But I don't think I would have to research it more, obviously. We do not have the tools currently. I just don't think the male demographics of these artists, of Zendaya and Ariana and Justin Bieber, rose drastically enough to say that those pivots were for the boys.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then it's like, again, this is reductive, but we're selling blackness to teenage white girls? Is that it?
Mike Will made it. I'm on your ass, nigga.
When I get you, Mike Will made it. You got these girls saying, "Oh, woo Chile."
With my J. They've never had a pair of J's on their feet. I don't even think I have. Y'all don't eat me up. I'm just not.
They're expensive. They're expensive.
Yeah. Also,
I was never
the
a
ones
shoe
I
kid.
want, I can't afford.
Yeah. I was never a shoe kid. I try to be more into shoes now, but even then, I don't like spending a lot of money.
I like boots a lot.
Can I tell a really quick story?
Yeah.
While I was living in Pittsburgh, I rode the bus a lot because the public transportation is quite good in Pittsburgh, at least for someone that wasn't there for very long.
Mm-hmm.
And in Pittsburgh, a lot of the students that live there take the public transit as opposed to the school bus, just because it's harder to get around in the school bus, especially when there are buses that are just around.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was going shopping or running errands or something right around the time that high school got out. Bunch of teenagers got on the bus. I was standing up. They were all sitting around me. I was standing up. And the bus, like, shook. And I took a step back and stepped on this teenage boy's shoes. And I was like, oh, damn, I ruined his whole day. He's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. And he looked at me with such disdain. He looked at me with such disgust. I like, if he had the tools, he would have cursed me and my children.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he turns to the person, because obviously sitting in the aisle, turns to the person he was sitting next to, whispers something. They stand up and switch seats. And I'm like, oh my God. Now I guess I just have to wait till I hit my stop with this, like, crippling embarrassment. I'm so sorry, random kid. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh,
they don't play about their shoe. One time I stepped on, it was a crowded hallway in high school. I stepped on the back of this nigga's shoe to the point that his foot came out. He looks back, and honestly, I got saved by like the crowded hallway because I don't know, the way he just like snapped back. I was a little scared, so I'm just walking, pretending like it wasn't me, and I got.
There's like that pause where it's you can feel the violence.
Yes,
brewing. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, oh my
no,
God, no. What did I just do?
I have to engage a different part of my brain that I haven't had to use very often, and that is fight or flight. Oh no.
Yes.
Why were we talking about shoes? Oh, because Miley never wore J's. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There's more to say there. Obviously, we didn't like solve any problem. I just that was interesting.
Just interesting to consider.
Speaking of Zendaya and A24 and a third thing, we just saw the drama.
We did.
Just saw the drama. And before we say anything, as someone who did not see anything about it, like at this point, people will be talking about it for a week. And so it's probably the people that want to see it probably either have seen it or have already had it spoiled for you. If you have not seen it and you have not been spoiled, go see it without the spoilers. Please do. So we're going to try to talk about this as much as we can before putting up a big like spoiler sticker somewhere saying we're about to talk about
put a big ass caution sign. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
Right. And so just the tag for it to the drama directed by Christopher Borgli, who was like a Norwegian director, and also we have some stuff to talk about with him. Did you hear about the stuff with him?
Nope.
Oh, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, my oomphs. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That felt weird coming out of my mouth.
I do feel a little parasocial about them. A little extra parasocial.
Yeah, those are my close personal friends, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. We grew up with them. Yeah. I'm gonna see them twice more this year.
Yeah.
At least.
We might as well be besties at that point.
We're like literally best friends.
Yes. Oh, and also we're gonna see Zendaya in Euphoria, so we're really gonna see a lot of her.
Zendaya's in Euphoria. Oh, we gotta watch Euphoria. That's this week.
Yeah.
We gotta watch Euphoria. We gotta watch.
I do miss Euphoria Sundays. I can't lie. That was a good time.
Okay, we'll set something up. We'll see if we can like get something cooking there.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, the tag for this movie, just like the one sentence. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. If you can help it, do not look up what the turn is. I think it deeply enhanced my experience. I avoided everything about this movie as best I could, like the plague, because I knew I was going to go see it. Okay, so with spoiler free sign is on. I really liked this movie.
Me too.
I really like this movie. Polarizing movie.
Right. I knew as I watched this, I just could only imagine the discourse that's going to happen.
I could feel it. I could hear the war bells ringing.
I did have a feeling. I was like, I feel like a lot of people are going to miss the point, or they're going to like not see themselves in a certain person, which of course nobody wants to see themselves in I will say, I think this movie is much more about the questions than the point. And so I am glad that within the bounds of like respectable discussion, it is like it is spread out. So many people are talking about so many different unique things. Some people say it's really stupid, but I'm glad that I love a movie that I can tell is going to be a classic. Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe not a widespread classic. Like this is not Sinners. Sinners is that's going to be classic.
Yeah.
This is a cult classic in the making.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has cult classic vibes.
It has cult classic vibes.
It's gonna be some artsy, pretentious kids in like 30 years watching this in their basement with their friends. Like, oh my god,
there's a 15-year-old that is defining their personality.
You're a cinephile. You haven't seen the drama. You're a fake.
Yeah, literally.
Wait, that literally would have been me. Literally.
Oh, I thought you were a Zendaya fan, but you haven't seen the drama. Wow. And I will say, so speaking of Zendaya, one of the things that we can talk about without spoilers, I think she's great. I think she's great in this movie. I've never thought Zendaya was like the strongest actress. I've always loved her, even when I find performances weak. But I will say, her agent is on their shit. She has never been in a bad project.
This is her.
Maybe Malcolm and Marie. That's the
but that was like Sam Levinson's fault. Anytime she's in something bad, Sam Levinson
every time Zendaya is in a bad project, it's Sam Levinson. Holy shit.
And honestly, I do think Zendaya was stronger than what's his name? Malcolm
Denzel's David son. Washington.
Yeah, I do think she was stronger than him in that movie.
Did you say Denzel's son? Wow.
Yeah, that's
I guess he's just gonna be Denzel's son forever.
Which he would actually hate.
Which also has Robert Pattinson. I think Robert Pattinson's good in this movie. Not my favorite performance of him, but I think he did a good job.
I also think Robert Pattinson has so many good performances. I knew this wasn't gonna be my favorite of his.
I think he's at his best when he's a little freak. Like when he's a little freaky at minimum.
Have you seen that?
It's on the back. That's with Willem Dafoe, right?
Yeah.
It's on the list. Eggers. But I haven't seen Mickey 17, but I heard that was mid. But love the Batman. I'm excited for the stuff that he's coming out this year.
Love that he just asked Zendaya if she could get him in Dune. Like, I just love the concept.
Hey Zendaya, can you get me in Dune?
Because that's probably exactly how he did it.
Please, Miss Coleman, can you get me?
Also, shout out to him because he's a Taurus. I just wanted to say that.
I'm a Taurus,
and we're Tauruses.
Oh, you're a Taurus. I forgot you were. Sorry,
nigga. I was born like 3 days after you.
Wow, look at me, always forgetting a woman's place.
What the fuck?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So they're great. People that are not the top two billing. Also stars Alana Haim and Mamoudou Ati. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
She's Alana Haim,
artist, isn't she? She's like a musical artist.
She's in Haim. She's one of the Haim sisters.
Oh, they're sisters. That's what they are.
They're in like a
trio. Indie folkish kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
My white friends, and I say that with love.
I know they love
Haim. They're the first Haim song I heard was because of them.
I'm gonna ask my white gay friend because I know she loves them probably.
Alana Haim played her role very well.
Beautifully. I'm like, they're gonna hate her.
The fuck out of her role. Oh my god, she boiled my blood. Like, we can't say anything about that yet. Can't say anything about that. I do want to give a special. I know she wasn't very much in the movie, but Jordan Currit as the young Emma.
She honestly, I feel like she was one of my favorite parts.
Well, I didn't expect her to be as in the film. But obviously, I didn't know what it was about at first.
Yeah.
I think her actress does a really good job. I think she captures millennial teenagehood quite well.
Oh, wait. I have a perfect thing to talk about just briefly as I was watching the theater that doesn't spoil anything.
Okay.
But you know the scene where young Emma is like at the computer and she's trying to make a video and her webcam has to be updated. Everyone in the theater laughed, and I went to the theater that's right next to my school. So, you know, ton of undergrads. I'm like, do y'all know what y'all laughing at?
Do y'all even know about this shit? What y'all know about
like updating your driver for your webcam? But also, you know when no one laughed? When she got the blue screen of death. I'm like, I knew y'all wasn't fit to know about that. what you know about them.
And I do think that to that point, the movie's funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
It is an anti-comedy. I think just as many people are going to leave saying this movie was not funny at all as there are people saying the movie's hilarious. I'm on team hilarious. I was
whole
cackling.
time.
I thought it was really funny.
Whole theater was cackling.
It is a dark humor. There is but not like, it's not like Reddit humor. At most, it like kind of satirizes Reddit humor at most, but most of the humor is not. Honestly, a lot of the humor is like in the editing. I think the editing and the direction was really good, especially the editing.
Yeah,
I think that the movie is really good at pacing within a scene. I do think one of the biggest complaints I have is like, I think towards the back half, it does slow down a bit. Like, the movie is an hour 43 minutes. I think 5 or 10 minutes could have been shaved off. I still really like it, and that very minor complaint. But there was a part like right around like the beginning of Act 3 where I was like,
it's what would take it from because for me, we're sitting at a 4 out of 5.
Solid 4.
It would take it to a 5 out of 5 with that.
I don't think that would be enough to take it to a 5 because this movie is not perfect. But really quick, before I talk about perfect, I think the thing I want to say about the editing is really good in a way that you can't second screen watch. I know that's not an option yet, but it's these like rapid, quick takes that don't finish a scene, matched with long, unedited, slow, monotonous scenes that like when it's quick, it you can feel the way time passes. You can feel the anxiety that it's going for. But then when it's slow, different anxiety, just as strong. Like it does awkward really well. And I think you kind of need that in a millennial ass film.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that being said, a thing that I liked about the editing, there are shots and like little cuts that capture thoughts, but they are not signaled in the editing as thoughts. And to me, it works really well. It worked really well for me. Right? Especially with this idea of like, of this idea of the central theme of truth. One of many. I think it works really well. I can see that getting on someone else's nerves. I can see people being confused because some of the shots they can't tell if they're real or not.
Which I like, actually.
I like that. But I
like when my perception is fucked with a little bit.
I agree. And I think
it was meant to, yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. I have sympathy for the people that don't like it to a point, as long as they can also be like, I get why you do. Because some people are like, oh, I don't get it, so it's stupid and
bad.
Yeah. And I just don't agree. with that.
I really like the shots where wait, what is Robert Pattinson's character's name?
Charlie.
I like the scenes where
Robert Pattinson plays Charlie, and Zendaya plays Emma.
I like the scenes where it was like he was hanging out with young Emma, but it was like adult him.
Yeah. That was one of the sequences that I first talked about when I first walked out the theater.
Yeah. I thought that was a really good way to, capture him,
Yeah.
I think it really shows to show how he was really trying to like see where she was as a child.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that reading. I think your description of that was more empathetic than what I think the character was.
Were you thinking more like it was like, oh, it's to the point that like he can only see her as this child who's done this
saw it
thing.
more as fear or as
Okay.
anxiety than an empathy. But that was just me. I have to see it again. I have to see it again. Really like this.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit also of like you find out something about someone, and in that moment, that's all you can only think of that.
Yeah.
Like it's like an obsessive thought.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good way to show that, since it was he can only see her for her like childhood action in that moment, that obsession.
And I do want to say, fair warning to people who haven't seen it yet. Highly encourage you to go see it in a theater, but if you go see it with people, particularly a partner, since its pitch is set up as like a dark rom-com, because it's like an anti-rom-com, be prepared for a conversation after. I was lucky, maybe not lucky, but I'm thankful. I went with my partner, and when we got out, we both, the way we debriefed, we were like, I agree with your point. I agree with it. Just like, I agree, everything. And I really, in a weird way, I felt more connected with her in discussing like the social questions than any of the rom-com stuff. And I think it does do the rom-com stuff okay, but it's I think where it comes to my biggest issues, I thought there could have been more rom-com. Or maybe not rom, just more rom.
Yeah, a little more romance.
I feel like, especially in the second act, I wish there was a little bit more of an up and down, though I don't know how they could do that without adding more, and I just said that I kind of...
It's too long.
It was a little long. I don't know. I still hold to both of those complaints. Or not complaints, both of those personal issues. I just feel like there was more room for Charlie and Emma to have romantic moments that are not like I think there could have been more in the second act. It's mostly the third act that I think is a little slow. What else can we talk about without spoiler? The sound and the score. Less the score, but the sound design.
There was like a sound they kept playing, and it was like it was really good. It kept freaking me out.
Yeah, like there was like a musical cue. It's not like a score. It wasn't a sound, but there was a cue that kept this motif that kept coming back.
Kill Bill siren.
I thought was honestly that's a good way to describe it. This like signal of instability, I thought was really enticing. I thought it was really enticing. And when it comes to character, I think I really loved Zendaya's character.
I loved Emma.
I really liked Emma, regardless of the take, regardless of whatever take you have. I think Emma is a really interesting and well performed character. Yeah. Okay.
I agree. I feel like it was her, and then it was
Alana Haim.
I keep forgetting Alana Haim. Yeah.
Alana Haim. Yeah. Those two, I think, made the movie.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Really good. All right. Is it time?
We gave them enough time.
Okay. All right.
Here's where you should go away.
If you haven't seen the movie, I recommend going to see the movie, but come back. Come back after.
Yeah, come back after you watch it.
We're going to talk about it some more. But
don't leave us forever.
We are now entering spoiler territory. Spoiler territory.
Can I share how I got it spoiled for me?
Okay. Yes.
Which I told you already.
Yes.
But yeah, I was just, I was minding my business, being a degenerate.
That. They can't see through the facade. They can't know we have conversations outside of this. Yeah,
not
go ahead.
This. It's like imagining your teacher outside of school. It's like,
yeah, what the fuck? What do you mean you shop at JCPenney? What the hell?
Fuck?
You're supposed to be in the classroom.
Store for school teachers? But
so
yeah, I
was buy me birthday cake for my birthday. Sorry, continue.
My birthday cake at my birthday party. Glass slam. Okay,
right. How you found out about the twist?
Yeah, I was just being a degenerate on X, just scrolling through shit, and I see a headline that says Columbine parent enraged after Columbine.
Columbine.
Columbine parent enraged after seeing the twist in the drama. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this could only mean one
This
thing.
could only mean one thing. So, plot of the drama. Yes, it is about this couple on the week of their wedding. While Charlie and Emma, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's character, and the friends, one of which is Alana Haim, are like doing wine tasting in preparation for their wedding. They go around the table and all say the worst thing that they've ever done. And when it gets to Zendaya's character, Emma, she admits that she planned and almost committed a school shooting when she was a teenager. And I did not know that was the movie about.
I'm jealous of you.
Genuinely, I'm winning. I feel so rewarded for holding fast and not looking anything up. Because I
didn't look anything up.
The way my face.
Don't say I looked anything up.
Because
I did.
Touche. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just better and stronger and wiser than you in all these ways. Like, I don't know.
I'm still the realest nigga, so.
All right, touche. I'm fake. What was I saying? Yes, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh shit, because as they were talking about it, I could tell that she was anxious, and I was like, I don't know, she killed somebody, right? But I was imagining like I hit a guy with my car or something.
Yeah.
School shooting is such a specific crime and threat
and also very specific to our cultural context in the US.
I know this isn't true, especially since the director is Norwegian, but it felt for me. Do you know what I mean? It felt for.
I feel like he wouldn't have been able to make this movie without this specific US context of like school shootings and whatnot. So I feel like it's still for you.
To fill out the rest of the plot, the movie is not as much about the potential school shooting. A thing she did not commit, by the way. She got really close. She brought a gun to school. She had a plan. She had a manifesto. And then she didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's much more about the reactions to discovering it.
Very much
and
so.
The new knowledge of this thing infests all of her friends, like her support, the people that are going to be in her wedding, her fiance's perception of her. And it asks I think, much needed question of like, who gets grace?
Yes.
Because like, let me know if you had any different. There was no point where I was not on Emma's team.
Oh yeah, I was on her side.
There was no point where I was like,
even as I'm trying to like work through this, like, oh my god, this is pretty fucked up. But I'm always on her side.
Because like part of it is like, obviously she is the protagonist, though. My other biggest complaint, I wish there was more Zendaya. I think the movie was a little too much about Charlie. I think it was a little too much about Charlie. I wish we got to see more of Zendaya and Emma reacting to some stuff as opposed to just being the thing reacted to. But
because I think it would have been nicer also to see more of like the other side of it, like, oh, having to like constantly, be on eggshells with the people around me because they know about this thing that I don't think of myself or associate myself with. Like, I'm very far removed from this action and whatnot. But it's like, oh, that's all you can see me as now. So more of like her anxieties regarding that, I think, would have strengthened it.
And
also, you know what I also liked?
Yeah.
I like the choice of how she ends up not doing the shooting. Because, I think there could have been
a lot of the discussion has been, in my view, mischaracterizing, or just maybe not mischaracterizing. The line of morality falls on this point. So go ahead.
For sure. Yeah, just because the director could have easily made it to where, I don't know, something more forcible happened to stop her from doing the shooting, or like a more drastic change of heart. But it's very much that another shooting happened and she's like, oh,
yeah,
everyone's freaking out. I'm not going to do my school shooting anymore. It's
And
someone
like
already
the
doing.
way that they talk about it in the film, like Charlie's character even asks, like, "Oh, so the reason you didn't do it is because someone else beat you to it?" And she was like, "I mean, yeah, I guess." And I'm like, while that is literally true, the way that the film pitches it is not the case. And from what I've been seeing over the past week of like comments about this point specifically, people are trying, there are people that genuinely are like, Emma is not a good person. She should not be redeemed because she is, I've seen the word evil thrown around because she had the idea. And it's like, no, it's not just she didn't do it, which she didn't. She brought the gun to school, which is a crime, and she had the plan, which is like she did a conspiracy. First and foremost, I don't use the law of the United States as the
As
compass
my
for my
line of
morality.
morality. Yeah.
Um,
Especially as Black people, I think we, yeah,
yeah.
even more so.
Put a pin in the Black people thing because that is a thing we'll have to talk about too.
Yeah.
But people are like, it's not that she grew a conscience and like learned or grew. Someone else just beat her first, so it like took all the fire out of her. And I'm like, that is a way to view that. I don't agree with it because the way it's pitched, it's like she saw the way the action she was about to commit affected everyone.
Those around her.
Yes. Like she's 15. 15-year-olds cannot, they have so little forward thinking.
They don't have a lot of introspection going on yet.
They don't have the experience either.
Of like thinking about other people around you.
Yeah.
Because you have to learn that.
Yes, they're practicing their empathy skills in real time in this moment. And especially as someone who grew up hearing constantly about school shootings, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a year or two ago where there was a mass shooting a day for a week?
I know, yeah.
Like in March or something?
Yeah, I remember that.
It is such an American problem. It is baked into the American culture. And to grow up at the turn of the century in America, like there is an image of the gun that is pervasive, and I don't know what better word to say than like predatory in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It you can't escape it. It comes for us.
Yeah.
To be an American is always to be running away from the gun.
Absolutely.
And so for her to, like, she literally bootstrapped empathy, and not just her, right? Part of the thing that led her to wanting to do that action is she was being bullied. And in the face of this, of like the shooting that she didn't commit, her and her bully like saw each other for the first time. And it's not to say like, and we're gonna have to talk about Alana Haim's character soon. I know it's hard to just go, oh, I'm just gonna be friends with my bully now. But you're both 15.
It's a lot easier when you're
serious thing happened
a kid
to you. You're a child, and a trauma happened to you. And honestly, the reason you were what you were before is also probably some other trauma. Yeah. Most kids don't just bully. Most kids are reacting to shit.
Yeah.
And
they would have.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm just thinking how, you know. Oh, hold on. Carmi is screaming.
Oh, cat tax.
Carmi.
Thank you, cat.
Hello.
Oh yeah, look at that long ass cat. You guys that are just listening, you're missing out this big cat. Long cat in the episode where we talk about school shooting. The school shooting cat. That's what that is.
Carmi, no. Don't shoot the school up.
It's not funny. That is the kind of humor though. Like some of the humor, like it trivializes this very serious thing in a way that I think is cathartic.
Yeah.
But I get some people won't.
Because in what other contexts are you able to laugh in regards involving a school shooting? Mm-hmm. There's not many contexts I can imagine where that's even possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But to the point about like the empathy, like so much of thematically about this film is about grace and forgiveness. Who can be forgiven? And a lot of people on the internet are like, she shouldn't be forgived, which is also what one of the characters, Alana Haim's character, believes. Alana, what's her name? Rachel. The character of Rachel hears this about Zendaya and goes off on her, calls her all
Loses
these
it.
names, threatens to like implode the wedding. Like there's more to that. This
Brought her
isn't just
cousin into
one-sided.
it for no reason.
Yeah, because from Rachel's point of view, like her cousin was injured and was paralyzed, not just injured, paralyzed in a mass shooting, and it's in like I could see emotionally like the evocation of that emotionally in that moment. However, you know the difference between the person that put your that forced your cousin into a wheelchair and Emma? Emma didn't do that shit.
She didn't do it.
She didn't do it. She didn't do that
Also,
shit. She was also
I'm
15.
not
15. Sorry.
I'm not a cousin relationship policing, but I think it's funny how your cousin didn't even know who your fiance was, but y'all are so like. There's a moment where Charlie meets her cousin while she's on the outside, and her cousin mistakes him for her husband, Mike. Yeah, I'm like, damn, you don't even know what race this nigga is.
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, and so like I found her character infuriating.
She was the worst.
Infuriating.
Especially since, you know, she had her own little fucked up shit.
She had her own fucked up shit. When they all go around the table and say the worst thing they ever did, her story was that she like led a kid that like a disabled kid into the woods, went into an RV, locked him in the closet of the RV, and left. And I guess left him there.
Just a little amendment. Not that it makes it better, but I guess the kid wanted to show her the RV. So he like,
yes.
And she's just like, fucking on board. Let's go. But yeah, she's like, I'm gonna just lock him in there.
Yeah, and she's laughing at it. She's like, oh no, but they found him. It's okay. It's fine. And so it's like this thing, which I don't think is good. I think that is assault. Like you actually harmed a person, is within the bounds of acceptable offense.
Yeah, and I think it's even interesting how even the way they talk about it was way different.
Yeah.
Like when Emma talks about what she's obviously super reluctant.
Yeah.
She's still like, you know, she obviously feels bad about her actions and whatnot. And it's like, I think, yeah, there's like a visible difference in how. Why do I keep forgetting her name? Alana Haim.
Rachel.
Yeah, let's just call her Alana Haim.
Alana Haim.
Yes.
Yeah. And
she pissed me so bad.
She pissed me the fuck off. And you're gonna make my wedding about you, bitch? Oh my god,
bro.
Oh my god.
That very white woman behavior. I gotta say.
Yeah, honestly, like I one of the reasons I think she did a good job, and like I think that character is. This is gonna sound pretentious, but important because she is the internet.
She is.
That is the internet.
Which is why I was like, wow. I kind of honestly, I didn't expect full on sympathy with Emma.
Sure.
Like I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I do think there's also something to say that like, is it more receptive because it's Zendaya? Like, is that why
I've heard that point before too? Like the only reason you're on Emma's side is because it's played by Zendaya, and I don't think that's true.
Oh no, not even that.
Oh well, I've heard that.
I saw a post where, but yeah, I can definitely see how people would say that. Yeah. I saw a post who was like, I would not have been on Emma's side if she was like a white boy, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I do think we remember the pin. We got to pull that off the
race
board.
Pin. Yeah,
because of the stereotype and the demographic, it is easier to say that a white boy who was gonna be a school shooter is like rotten to the core than a like young black girl.
Yeah. Which, you know
And
what?
yeah.
I felt like within realizing that, I'm like, dang, I wanted to challenge my
Yeah.
own capabilities of empathy, because
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're most likely to be indoctrinated into something like this, if you're a
Yeah.
white boy, that's in
Yeah.
theory who is going to need a fuck ton of empathy
Yeah.
if we want to see him end
It's
up on like
hard
an
to
Emma
look at
path.
those people as victims too.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like the Rachels, the internet, that is so preoccupied with punitive justice, which is really just punishment.
Yeah.
It's hard to it's hard to give grace to a person that we have been trained to view as inherently evil.
Yeah.
But if it was a white boy, he was 15 too.
Yeah, he was 15, he was getting bullied too.
Yeah.
He also fell into the path line of this like very strong like school
Yeah.
shooter Columbine aesthetic imagery.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even want to know what like, because I imagine this was a thing, the eventual Columbine side of Tumblr. I imagine that being like a big thing on the internet, or like on 4chan or some shit. I feel like I even saw this with the empathy with Charlie, because I think also a big part of the film is like Charlie does a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of why he's able to understand.
This is the spoiler territory. Go ahead and say that.
Spoil that shit. Oh yeah, because like he almost fucks his coworker.
He almost he kisses,
he has a breakdown.
And almost fucks his coworker. First, really quick. I cannot believe the speed in which she hiked up her skirt.
Whoa! My girl was ready.
She was
ready. I've been seeing a lot of people talking crazy. I'm like, bro, can we laugh? But
it's really funny. It's a really funny movie.
Yeah.
It's so wild at the end to be like, did you sexual harass? Like, yes, he kissed her, but also, girl, I saw you. I saw you. You didn't need no convincing. Not
she wanted a little sneak
dick or anything like that. But like
a little sneak dick.
Yeah.
I mean, she's also, her whole thing was like, I guess there was part of it, like the worst thing that she had done before was cheat, basically. Which I'm
the
sure
film already like described, like defined her as a person who has cheated.
Yeah.
And so that does go into it a little bit, but also, whatever. But yeah,
I've never been so ready to fuck at work, I gotta say. But also, I've never worked with Robert Pattinson, so not to be a white boy lover, but
British Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
I love him. I do love him.
But so Charlie does commit a transgression. He kisses and like does a thing. To be fair, like again, stress, all these things, not an excuse, but is a motivating factor. A lot of stuff was going into it, not an excuse. And the reaction to Zendaya stuff and his own transgression leads to the wedding like imploding.
Yep.
It leads to the wedding imploding. Again, I can't express enough. These are spoilers. Spoiler territory.
Anything that can go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, it all went wrong. And then at the end, excuse me, Zendaya takes him back.
Which I know a lot of people, I saw a lot of discourse.
I'm sure a lot of people were really, that was polarizing. How did you feel about that?
I felt like it was in tune with, oh, you good? He was like failing to jump on the bed. I felt like it was in tune with the messaging of the movie, or at least my takeaway, and it's empathy.
Yeah.
Like, Emma was able to be empathetic towards Charlie. I feel like she was like, okay, I'm understanding of what trying to process this information, and not only just having to process it, but having everyone around you like, oh my god, like his best friend and his best friend's wife. And then I felt like
I really liked it.
I did like it, and I like how I liked his little wedding crash out.
Yeah,
like I do think it took him doing something bad to be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
whoa.
And like I
It all
think
clicked.
there is no right or wrong. There is no good or evil in this. There's just a lot of gray. And I think Emma's shades of gray are very bright and lead me to think she leans more towards being a good person
Yeah,
that
for sure.
was a child, and a child gets affected by their circumstances. Like, where were her fucking parents? Nowhere. Daddy left her alone with a gun.
Literally, I think that's really one of the best moments of like the shots. It was just emphasizing how empty everything is around her
How
as a kid when she's like,
she was. Yes.
Yeah, it's giving Max and Ruby, except
it's
like,
almost like isolation breeds violent tendencies, especially in a country with so many guns and such high gun violence.
Yeah, I think I thought it was super interesting how Alana Haim, her character, was super distrusting over Emma becoming like a anti-gun, like a gun violence activist.
Like you're a hypocrite because you really at its core, you're a hypocrite because you weren't punished for your thing. You weren't punished for your actions, many of which were merely thoughts. Obviously, it's not only thoughts. It wasn't just, what if I just go shooting? She brought the gun to school. She wrote the manifesto. She had the whole thing, and then didn't do it. And I get why people subscribe to that mindset. I just can't.
I just don't look at
justice that
not
way.
For the kids. I don't.
Especially
I just don't think
for
kids
children.
are so zero sum in their thinking. I think kids are a lot more malleable than people give them credit for.
Yeah,
I think we're quick.
Society. Sorry, you say your thing. So your thing.
Oh no! I was gonna say I feel like society's quick. They'll be like, here's the serial killer who had a terrible childhood and now he's the worst person ever. I feel like people kind of read everything in like that kind of way, like the extreme sort of way. But yeah,
I just can't subscribe to it. I just don't get it. I just don't think about rehabilitation and justice and reform and reparations and such like that.
Shit, I think about it, I'm like, a lot of people, they would have been calling, if this is something that happened, they would have called Emma's decision to join in on the activism, they would have been like, she's being performative, blah blah blah.
And my thing about that has always been like, okay, do it performative. At least she's doing it. Y'all motherfuckers won't even do it performative. You
shit. Not to make this about Jack Harlow, but like, because
yes, the school shooting to Jack Harlow pipeline, yes.
Because he released the film list of movies that inspired him when he was making Monica, apparently
his album, which is a whole thing that we don't need to get into.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But I'm like, hell, you could say he's performatively liking movies, but I would rather people performatively claim to watch cinema than to not watch it at all.
Like I remember
maybe you're doing it to impress the hoes.
The performative
learn something along the way.
Books, like reading books in public.
They did that. They did that to Jacob Elordi. Like
at
now
he's
like
reading.
Yeah,
read. You illiterate motherfuckers, like read books.
I don't care if you're reading for the hoes, because guess what? You're gonna get something out of it, even in your decision to read it for the hoes. I had a dude, and he was trying to impress me back in undergrad, and he read the autobiography of Malcolm X. But he actually really liked it, and that was one of the first books he'd read in a while. Yeah. So I'm like,
this is such a minor point, but like connecting it to the drama, like when in the very beginning, when Charlie first meets Emma, when Robert Pattinson first meets Zendaya's character, he sees what book she's reading, takes a picture of it, and then pretends to have read it to like meet her.
Yeah.
And then when they go on the date, she tries to talk to him about the book, and he confesses that he never read it. And then it like cuts to the friend saying like, "Well, wouldn't it have been weirder to read the book?" And he's like, "No, read the book." And I was like, "What do you mean? Wait, we don't all do homework for the first date? When I met my girlfriend, she had me watch a movie.
Period.
I was like, what are you into right now? I watched this movie. Bet I'll watch this movie and we'll talk about it over dinner? ? And you know what I did?
Honestly,
I watched the fucking movie and we talked about it over dinner.
Is that not how you show you're interested in someone?
Right.
Like
that's so baffling to me, to be like to look at that as a weird thing. Like, I guess the
if you
idea
do
is
that
it's like
before a first
stalkery or
date,
something.
I'd be like, oh, maybe you are the one. You know,
Like, is that not effort? Is that not what we
yeah,
want? I don't know. Whatever.
yeah.
That is so not the point. I think to hammer in on a point. I think the thing that I think is the most important. Like, I think this film feels really important. I know it's not going to have the same place in the cultural imaginary as it does in my personal, because I'm pretty sure this thing is going to be mostly remembered for the controversies and the like
You're supposed to tell me about the director or
right.
something.
So it was discovered that the director, Norwegian director, what's this motherfucker's name? Christopher Borgli. They found an old letter that he published back in 2012 about him defending dating 16-year-olds. Yes.
Oh no.
And I didn't read it. It's not a good look. I think if that is important to you, to like not want to watch the movie, I get that. I think that's fine. I think that makes him a creep.
Yeah.
But as of I don't want to we'll say more about this in office hours.
Because I think there's a lot to say about, like,
I think there's stuff to say about it, and I don't want it on the main channel. Instead, the last point I'll make is the central theme of, like, grace and forgiveness. A lot of people were the ending is controversial because people think that, well, Charlie cheated, don't take him back. Like, oh, just because you did one wrong doesn't mean you have to accept his wrong. But, like, why not?
Yeah.
Is I think one of the major questions that this movie asks is, like, is love not enough to forgive your partner's worst mistakes? Because I'm of the opinion we aren't our worst mistakes. I think some mistakes cause so much harm, and you should pay for the harm, or at least you should be put on a path to make reparations for the harm you caused. But instead, we think about it as inherent goodness or value.
Yeah, like, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yes, and I've never subscribed to that. That, like, is the goal not for people to change? Do you not want people to change? Because, like, whoever's listening, you are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You're not going to be the same person you are in 5 years. And
you know what?
15 years ago, you're definitely not the same person. Now, Charlie, this happened early this week, but this is after years, like, what, 2.5 years, 3 years? Excuse me, or so, of not showing yourself to be that person. Like, whatever. I think that's between, if that is enough for you in your individual relationship to like, hard cut it off, more power to you. Okay.
You know what? I would have been, if she didn't want to take him back, that would have been cool too.
That would have been
like,
cool
it's
too.
totally cool if you don't want to take a cheater back.
Yeah.
I know how y'all like to tussle in them comments.
I know y'all like to tussle. I know how you feel about cheating.
But I'm also perfectly content with her taking him back. And also, I feel like the ending gave me very much Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind vibes, where they're kind of just together at the end. You don't really know their future.
I think that's a really good connection, because one of the things I was going to say is, like, her repetition of starting over. When they first meet and he, like, fumbles,
giving him another chance.
The first thing, she's like, "Oh, do you want to start over?"
Redo.
I'm so my part, you could not have anticipated of your chance. Here's a second one. She did it halfway through, and she did it at the end. She's like, "Hey, what if instead, put it behind us, we start over?"
Yeah.
And
honestly,
love that. I love that.
especially I think is like, I think of myself when I'm younger, and I think when you're younger, it's very easy to be like, yeah, fuck this person.
Yeah.
They tried me. I don't like them. They're the worst person ever. But I think growing up, a lot of it has been like, yeah,
Yeah.
like people aren't so black and white, and
Yeah.
also you're not a bitch nigga if you
Yeah.
give someone another chance. Like,
And
don't.
even if you are, that's okay.
Yeah, that's
There's nothing
cool.
wrong with that either. But I think
Yeah,
like thinking about it in the terms of like this thing that she did / almost did at 15, I think a lot of people can't forgive their own 15-year-old self. So why the
yeah.
fuck would I forgive you now? And I think to that, like, if that's how you want to live your life, go off. But
It's easier
I
not to live
I
like
think
that,
that 15-year-old deserves some grace. I think
for sure.
you at home, and honestly, me, because I myself need to hear this lesson all the time. I
Yes.
deserve grace for my worst moment, especially since I've changed, I've done work, I'm not that person, and like I I believe people can change.
Same.
I think the thing that I think if Emma was a real like a real person in my life, I would like urge her for therapy because
Oh
she
yeah, for
clearly
sure.
she hasn't told this to anyone in 15 years, and you should talk about this. You should talk about this with a professional. Not saying,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're crazy," and it's gonna come out of like you're gonna ooh, the gun. Like I'm not saying that. Just this seems like a really hard, heavy burden to bear. Whether you forgive your 15-year-old self or not, you should talk to someone professionally.
for sure.
Boom. Good movie. I like that movie.
Very good.
Go see the drama. If you don't like it, that is good. That is good too. I
If
think
you don't like it, I challenge you to like construct like
yeah.
post some criticism,
Yeah.
some.
Articulate why and make
Yeah,
that valuable. Because
yeah,
I think the polarity of this movie is the most important thing about it. I love it. And while you guys get your tickets to go see the drama, if you haven't done so, Leah, where can they find us?
they can find us on TikTok. Why did I
Why,
start
yeah, why are
TikTok? I
you
never
doing a
started with
voice?
TikTok.
Just because I did a
I,
voice, you don't have to do a voice.
it was contagious. Fuck, I'm autistic. Fuck.
All right. Where can they find us?
You can find us any place that they have podcasts, and you can also find us on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to get into our office hours, where can they find us?
On Patreon for $5 a month, you'll get access to our office hours, our show after the show. We're a little riskier, a little looser. We consume a little legal substance. It's a good time. It's a fun time. If you can afford to hang over, and if it helps, I got a little sneak preview right here. Temptation Island is a show. It's like it's a dating show. It's not really a competition dating show, but there are people that get sent home where 4 couples fly to some resort island and spend a calendar month away from each other, sleeping in different houses filled with like 10 people of the opposite gender who were there solely to try to like seduce them. It's a bunch of niggas going to fuck island. It's like, I don't trust you. How can I trust you? Let's take a vacation to fuck island. If you can afford it, send it our way. If you can't, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And until we see you guys next, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books.
Please read.
Read books, and watch movies, and watch this movie. Watch this movie specifically, and watch every Zendaya movie that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.